In today's video, we find out what happens when the Hench Bros meet Boss Darth Vader and his Stormtroopers. This was filmed last week, as were the other two videos coming out later this week as well. But let's find out what happens when Boss Darth Vader meets the Henchmen. Now, if you enjoy the boss meets around here and enjoy the content, don't forget to tap that subscribe. Roughly 98% of you guys watching aren't subscribed, and I can see you if you're not subscribed, so tap it if you aren't already. So what's the plan for today's video? Well, this is it. First off, we had to locate the location of the Henchmen. Once we had the location of the Henchmen found, we had to get lucky with our storms, because this was going to be custom games, because we'd have to move Darth over to that location. Now, Darth would obviously go over to the Henchmen quite easily. The Henchmen didn't have to be too far away, they had to be relatively close, no further than the ones at the beach by Foundation. Now, we also wanted Stormtroopers as well. Well, we could grab these on the back of a truck fairly easy, so that's quite easy to do. We can grab the Stormtroopers from any of these two POIs, really, they're the closest to, and take them over to possibly wherever the Henchmen spawn, being Tilted, Coney, the beach, wherever they want to spawn. And then, once we do find the Henchmen, the battle will begin by all of these meeting each other, and we'll find out what happens. Now, we don't have enough players to get all of the Stormtroopers, so we're only going to be getting 2 in this situation, but I think that's enough for this video. Also, last video we did a name this skin challenge, and you guys got it right with 8 points. But can you name this skin on screen right now? Will you get it right? Let me know in the comment section down below. So jumping straight into the game, the plan was to split up into solos, there's 4 of us, and search the most likely locations for groups of 5 of the Henchmen. That being Risky, Crossroads, or Tilted. So they're the most 5 common spawns for the 3 common spawns for the Henchmen, sorry. And obviously here in this game, I'm going to be going to the Foundation's beach, just hoping that they might spawn there. So let's dive in over there and see if we can spot them. And as we do, get a little bit lucky, we do have the 5 Henchmen grouped together at the Foundation's beach. Now we just need the Storm to go over us to get a little bit of luck, and Darth Vader to get here fairly quickly, and the Stormtroopers did arrive quite quickly. Now, in my position here, I don't have much gameplay of me gathering the Stormtroopers in this game, because that's what my team were doing. Shout out to Children Awaken and Gaming Shot. Here you can see a little bit of footage of Darth on his way over. He decided to go for a little bit of a swim in the water. Darth comes straight out of the water, and all we've got to do is simply bait Darth from this location over to the location of the beach where we are currently at with the Henchmen. So, you know, moving Darth isn't too hard with the bait. You guys know we did this previously against the Herald. Darth just simply follows you really nicely. He throws a little lightsaber at us, gets a little bit of damage. With a little bit of luck, Darth just generally follows you all the way, and you can use a vehicle if you want to. You can go on foot. Usually going on foot works best for me, but obviously it's different per player and per person. Sadly, Darth's not in the game currently, but we assume he probably will get added back again in the future, because he's now been back in the game twice. With the Star Wars re-release, Darth would probably come back, I reckon, in the future. With a little bit of luck, you can get Darth following you, and he goes quite nicely. Once you get him on the rhythm, you can get Darth moving, and if you get him to that beach location, we're going to be able to see what happens when all these geezers meet. So come on, Darth. Lovely leap there coming in from Darth. Darth Vader, come on. He's just a little bit slow. He's just not as fast as we need him. We need to get pretty lucky with the circles and Storm here, but we're doing okay so far. Darth is approaching us nicely, and we've got our little gain on here, and Darth should be there any second anyway. So that's a little bit of footage from that side and how we're moving Darth. On a side note, guys, if you guys are a fan of the back rooms and like it in creative, I've actually upgraded Toy Grab to include an entire backrooms POI, which you guys can now grab the flag from in the center of Toy Grab. You can find this in the Discover section under the backrooms tab, or with the code on screen if it's no longer in that little category. But yeah, that's the Toy Grab map with the new backroom castle. Go and check it out, guys. I think you guys will absolutely love it if you like the backrooms, and if you like my toy maps, this one's going to be perfect for you. It's like a combo of them both. I think it's a really awesome capture the flag map fighting inside of the backrooms. Anyway, let's jump back over to the boss meet. Because generally speaking, with me landing on the beach, I didn't really have time to go over to these locations because it is a custom games. Now, while I was over here, I just collected resources, and you can see we've got Tracker Darth Vader here. Darth Vader is currently over at the shrine. He should be here soon. And skipping ahead a little bit, we do have the arrival of Darth coming in from that location over there. So we should be set to go. Darth moves in, we move the Stormtroopers to the back. I distract Darth over here. Darth's on me right now. And as we run into the Henchmen over here, Darth is going to pile straight in on us, and then he should aggro onto the Henchmen if he does hit them. But we're going to switch into the replay and get another point of view of what's going on so we can jump straight into the action. So first off, Darth does approach in, and you can see in my position, I'm positioned by this car over here with the Stormtroopers directing exactly what should go on. Our Henchmen are chilling on the beach. This gives us time and the exact moment to move the 2 Stormtroopers in. While Darth does leap in towards me, he picks the car up like I said before, and then this is where we got to. This is where Darth should jump in on these henchmen. He's going to jump on just like that and actually aggroes the henchman, and there we have it. Darth is now in the action with all 5 hench bros. Will he take the victory, or will they take the victory? The Stormtroopers are going to become aggro any second now once we get them off this car. Darth does decide to pick up this car with the Stormtrooper on and actually throws it straight at the Trespasser, sending him flying. We've got Io on the left, we've got Shadow in the middle, Ghost on the right, and the 7th Century on the far right. They're all aiming in for Darth here, getting a lovely 25. Darth taking no damage here at all. He's now just completely blocking these bullets with the Force. Throws a lightsaber in, gets a double hit there on Ghost and Io. You can see the car does come in again. He Force throws it towards the henchman, sends Ghost flying, and also sends his own Stormtrooper flying. Check this replay out here. He actually damages his own Stormtrooper, which is a real surprise. I did not expect Darth to betray his own team, but they don't aggro on Darth. Obviously, they're friends with Darth, so they're not going to do anything. They're like, no worries, I'll just take the damage. Don't worry, Darth, we're good pals. And then also, it hits the Ghost henchman, sending him flying all the way over to this bush. Then we can see we have the Stormtrooper reapproaching by swimming in from the water. We've got Darth also targeting on the Io Guard while this was taking place. And also, while this is going on, while Darth is fighting the Io Guard, the Stormtrooper is also spraying down the Io Guard, and Ghost is making his reappearance through this bush into the battlefield. Now, while this was all taking place, the Stormtroopers were also in action against Shadow and taking on the Trespasser and the 7th Century here on this right side, trying their best to do as much damage as possible, but they do struggle. Again, the Stormtroopers don't have the best accuracy, as we know. They're a little bit botty. They do have decent accuracy, though. I feel like they're just like disguised clone troopers and not Storms, but who actually knows, because their accuracy is medium usually. Sometimes it misses a lot, but sometimes it can be quite good. Here you can see they can't even hit the Shadow Henchman. Shadow Henchman trying his best. We've also got 7th Century there, moving in Io Guard as well, and a few others. We've got Ghost also approaching now, shooting Darth from distance, getting some lovely hits on Darth. Actually managed to crack Darth's shield there, actually dealing a ton of damage to Darth, breaking his shield and getting him really low. Now Darth is in combat with the Io Guard, and you can see the Io Guard is trying his best to deal as much damage as possible to Darth, but Darth is just immune to it. Sometimes he gets immune, sometimes he doesn't. You see he's not taking any damage from the back, but from the front, the Io Guard is missing his shots. Then Darth throws a lovely lightsaber in, getting another double hit there with the lightsaber actually. Darth swinging in with his lightsaber here, getting as much damage as possible onto the Io Guard. Io Guard then spraying down onto Darth, dealing a little bit of damage, but Darth dodging the damage, goes in with a 20, gets a nice little 20, but taking a little bit of damage from the Io Guard. He force pulls the Io Guard towards him, and unfortunately, he leaps away from the Io Guard, leaving him standing on the brink of 0 health. So the Io Guard is still standing, and he switches to the Ghost Henchman, who still has full shield in this case. He throws a lightsaber on him, tries to do as much damage as possible. Darth approaching the Ghost Henchman right now. Is he going to get pretty close to him? He moves, he misses the lightsaber shot, and misses the other shot, and gets taken down by Ghost Henchman. But it's not over yet. We still have 2 Stormtroopers remaining on the battlefield. The 2 Stormtroopers are in the action here. They're trying their best to take as less damage as possible, but both Stormtroopers have got their shields cracked here. They get pretty close to Ghost Henchman. Ghost Henchman takes down one of the Stormtroopers. The other Stormtrooper flings for the air, and also you can see here on this side 7th Century Trespasser aiming in, and who's going to take the elimination on this flying Stormtrooper? And it looks like the Trespasser gets the final elimination on the flying Stormtrooper. Now, funnily enough, all of the henchmen were super low. Ghost was super low. You can see here the Trespasser, again, only a few hits and he would have been taken out. Shadow, 2 HP remaining, and we know the Io Guard was almost down. What an incredible fight that was. I reckon if there was maybe one more Stormtrooper, it would have been super tight and super close. But sadly, we can't repeat this anytime soon.